finding myself. That's my moment of Sarah.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ और
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ स्वाद आया? आया।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
वहाँ पे 5:30 बजे शाम को आज जो है बहुत तेज फैसला आया है। कारण जो है वहाँ पे एक बेली बेस था जो कि बह गया और वहाँ पे हमने इसको के लिए हम लोगों ने एनडीआरएफ की जगह पे टीम भेज दी गई है। तहसीलदार और टीम चली गई है मौके के लिए।
ये ब्रिज जाएगा, ब्रिज जाएगा।
Government grills Air India again on 300 feet drop. Mid-air turbulence, Air India in a big mess. Pilot fails dope test a second time. Debating tonight at 8 p.m.
Presenting by Zoho Business Software, trusted by 15 crore users. Berger Paints, Rang Bana Rahe. Powered by Century HTF Premium Plus, Hare Boat Ka Asli Boss. Co-powered by SBI General Insurance, Chuniye Bharosa, Apno Sa.
Vijay's party in anti-abortion march.
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for the debate.
Government grills Air India again on 300 feet drop. Sources say pilot failed dope test for a second time. At 8:30 p.m., Vijay's party in anti-abortion march. We question, is TVK pushing church agenda on abortion? Tonight, FCRA bill takes the Waqf route. FCRA bill to be sent to JPC, Joint Parliamentary Committee now.
Thank you for joining us on the debate, ladies and gentlemen. Arnab will be back on the show tomorrow. On top of 8 p.m., in fact, we've had to change our subject tonight. Initially, we thought that we would be debating what is happening in Jharkhand, which we looked at in great detail last night. But today, about 90 minutes ago, Abhishek and I, we discussed and we thought we should be discussing the Air India story. Ladies and gentlemen, this month on the 4th, a Phuket to Delhi flight witnessed a 300-foot drop, mid-air turbulence. We've seen the videos, they're horrific. A mid-air 300-foot drop and over 20 passengers were injured. Many of them suffered severe injuries. And Abhishek, when you look at the video, the pilot doesn't seem stable, or what he said doesn't inspire confidence. He says he's almost nervous. He asked passengers not to share the videos, not to record videos, not to share the videos on social media. He says, you know, these videos can destroy us. Now, I don't know why he would say that, but he's not sounding normal. There is a problem. There is a problem, and there appears to be an attempt to cover up what really happened. Abhishek, before we play the story, I'd like to get your view on this.
Well, you see, there seems to be breach of protocols, breach of SOPs, breach of safety procedures, and hence absence of accountability at multiple levels. And that's the reason why we are discussing this, Niranjan. Let's go to the facts of the story, bring it for the viewers, and then maybe we'll have a conversation.
Scenes of absolute horror in the air from Air India Phuket to Delhi flight. 137 passengers and 8 crew members went through one of the scariest moments of their lives. Luggage had fallen down from the overhead bins. Some passengers seen crouching in their seats, children crying, others trying to pray. 17 of them were even hospitalized after being injured in what was earlier reported as turbulence. As investigation followed into the mid-air drop, an altitude loss of 300 feet, it's brought the focus back to Air India. The air carrier is facing questions on the pilot in command's condition. The pilot, as per sources, has failed the second dope test. On Monday, Republic broke the news of the pilot in command's initial post-flight test for psychoactive substances that returned a non-negative result. Now the second dope test confirms specifically that the pilot had smoked marijuana. Listen to the pilot's announcement during the mid-air scare.
बस रात का 72 बज जाएगी, समझ रहे हैं? हमारे लिए सबके ये हमारी गलती नहीं है, हवा का चुकता है, हमको समझ नहीं है क्या? क्रू संभाल रहा है, क्रू खुद इंजर्ड है. अगर आपने फोटो ली, सोशल मीडिया डाली, आपको पता है आजकल किस तरह सुनिबल 1 मिनट नहीं लगता कटका देते हैं. तो इंसानियत के तौर पर हमारा और आपका विषय सुरक्षित रखिए प्लीज. 40 मिनट और की बात है. वी आर लैंडिंग इनटू दिल्ली वेयर यू विल हैव द बेस्ट ट्रीटमेंट पॉसिबल.
The pilot's condition and fitness to fly has now brought Air India under scrutiny. Outgoing Air India CEO Campbell Wilson has been grilled by Civil Aviation Ministry.
Sir, you have been summoned today by the ministry. You can speak anything on that. What happened during the questioning, sir?
No, we were just giving an update on the status of the investigation. Excuse me, people. Excuse me.
Sir, did the minister say anything regarding the incident?
It's not for me to say. I think that's up to him to give an update.
Civil Aviation Minister assures that the issue is being given topmost priority.
We wanted to get a direct update from Air India also on the incident, and we wanted to see how they are taking this issue from their side. And I have told time and again that from the ministry, safety in aviation is the topmost priority. There shouldn't be any compromise from any side, even the regulator or even the airlines or anyone. So this issue we have taken very, very seriously from the ministry side also. So we have just spoken to him as a preliminary task just to get an update.
On being asked about regulation on substance abuse by pilots, this is what he had to say.
AIB has been given the task to continue on the investigation, and we have good confidence on AIB. So I would say that let us wait for the full-fledged report to come from AIB so that we can see what action, definitive action needs to be taken on this. But in the meantime, if it is anything related to substance abuse or substance using, I would say that from the ministry we are taking it very, very seriously, and if we find that there needs to be some tweaking in the existing regulations, we are ready to do that.
After the Ahmedabad crash tragedy last year, Air India is yet again in a mess. Who takes responsibility for the lives of flyers is the big question we ask even after a year.
Okay, so we have Captain C.S. Randhawa, who is the President of Federation of Indian Pilots, joining us live. Dr. Vandana Singh, Chairperson of Aviation Cargo, Federation of Aviation Industry of India, that's FAI. Subhash Goyal, who is the Chairman of Indian Chamber of Commerce, Aviation and Tourism Committee. Captain Minu Wadia, Founder, FIP. He's also a former Air India pilot. And Captain Kabir Malik, who is joining us live. He's a charter airline pilot, joining us live from Delhi. I'll start with Captain Randhawa. Captain Randhawa, this could happen to anybody. This could happen to anybody, and this could happen exactly a year ago, you know, after the June tragedy in Ahmedabad. We've just been fighting, and then you have this. And then you have a clip that shows what happened on the flight. You have a video where the pilot is heard begging almost passengers not to post anything on social media. I wonder why he would do that. And he's not sounding, right, like he was in control of the situation. He was not sounding like he's in control of the situation. And we now have details coming in, even though we haven't seen the report. Reports now coming in the media suggest that he has failed a second confirmatory test and that it was marijuana. I'd like to get your view on how serious the situation is. Captain Randhawa first.
Good evening, Niranjan and my co-panelists. First and foremost thing I would like to say, it is very, very... the second test has become positive and the pilot has tested positive on the marijuana. It's a very serious issue, and I would like to have this covered in two parts. The first part is that the aircraft did suffer multiple hydraulic failure, which is first time it has happened on the Airbus 320 since the time it has been manufactured. And they have now instituted investigation which and termed it as a severe incident. And even the BA from France and Airbus is going to join in this investigation. That is one part. In that part, one more thing is there. The pilot in command, what he has reported is that he was not on the controls. So the recovery has been done from the stalled condition of the flight by the co-pilot. That is one part. The second part is the drug testing. The drug testing has been done in conformity with the CR5F5, and which is after every incident or accident, they're supposed to cover they're supposed to do the test. Now, in the first test, it is very surprising that Air India comes out and makes a statement. Initially, they made some technical error, and then now they speculated turbulence, and they said about as far as the drug testing, they said it's not negative. Non-negative. What do you mean by non-negative? Say it was positive, and they should have said that there was a serious technical problem. Now they have hidden all these factors. Now coming to the dope test. Now the second test has been tested positive of marijuana. That's a very serious issue. As per the ICAO regulations 1.2.7, as per Annex 1, no air crew or ground crew like AMEs or the ATC controllers, they can be on duty under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Now, here he is tested positive. This is the second part of it. Though he may not have been in controls, but the announcements which the pilot has made, that is not appropriate at all. Now, going ahead, now our regulations as far as the tests are concerned are in conformity with the EASA and FAA. There is a need to revise these regulations. There are some countries like the GCC or Singapore where they terminate the pilot and the local license is cancelled.
Okay.
So there could be a requirement now to change the regulation in this situation, which has occurred after a long time. No, the regulation says that 10% of the testing has to be done. I don't know whether the Air India has been or other airlines have been doing it, and there has to be a regulatory oversight. Now there is a lack of manpower in the DGCA, and there could be a lack of oversight in this.
Again,
and that is why I have been recommending a setting up of a civil aviation authority in this country.
Yeah,
because this is directly threatening the safety. Every time it is safety.
Yes.
Last year it was Air India 171 crash. It is again back. Air India is again back in the news. So there is a requirement because there is a lack of oversight. This no one is talking about, but I want to re-emphasize that you need a civil aviation authority in this country which is autonomous in nature, and there is more oversight on the airlines.
Mr. Randhawa, you're saying that this is a serious offense. You also mentioned various sections / subsections under which so-and-so action should be taken. You gave examples of how in other countries like the GCC or Singapore, the pilot would lose his or her job. The pilot has already been de-rostered. But I don't think it stops at the pilot, because it seems, going by what we have seen by way of reactions of the airline. And I want to also welcome Shilpi Jain. She's one of the passengers who was there on the flight. Ms. Jain, you would not be concerned about technicalities. You would want accountability, right? That the airline come out with a more specific statement, that the civil aviation authorities, the ministry, come out with absolute clarity on what actions they have taken vis-a-vis the pilot, vis-a-vis the airline, and what happens next, obviously.
Right. Yes, you're right. I would want them to take the accountability, because even on the medication part, they did not conducted medical examination of every passenger. Even I have a neck jerk, so they did not conducted that. Moreover, they are not taking any accountability. They are ruling out the part where they are saying that ye to hawa ka jhoka tha. They are ruling out that part. You can clearly listen in that audio that he's saying that, and he does not want to take the accountability, as he is saying that it will harm our reputation. Plane was about to crash and they are worried about their reputation. So this is not the thing that they should not say something like that.
Right. Captain Meenu Wadia, coming to you. Now, Captain Randhawa explained the possible series of events that would have happened. It seems that the pilot in command was not actually at the controls when this turbulence happened. We are also hearing that there were some technical glitches. So whether this was because of turbulence, whether this was because of those technical faults that the aircraft went up and down, or whether it was because the co-pilot perhaps made some mistake, we don't know. I mean, the silence of the airline, it's been more than 72 hours since the first test came. It's been more than 6 hours since the second test reports came in, and the airline is absolutely silent. The CEO who was at the ministry did not speak a word. So it's obviously, the Air India management seems to be really in a mood to brazen it out, so to say.
No, first of all, this very fact that we are discussing this issue without having all the evidence properly before us, we are only confusing the issue more than clarifying it. Let me put this for clarity in two separate compartments. One is about the alcohol or the drug test, and the second issue is about the aviation having dropped 300 feet or passengers being injured. As far as the drug test is concerned, we pilots are not specialists in drugs and the human body functioning. Let the medical people establish which drugs are given. If there is any drug which is taken which impairs clear thinking at any point in time, is certainly not acceptable.
I mean, you would want to believe that marijuana consumption does impair judgment.
Yes, true. So if it was a breach of discipline and the drug has been taken which impairs your thinking, then certainly the strictest action should be taken against the pilot. But before that, let's investigate. Let's see what type of drugs are there. Sometimes even some normal foods which are polluted can give you some. So let the specialists decide on this subject. We aviation people cannot decide on this.
Are you suggesting we should not debate this?
No, we should debate. That's why I'm coming to the aviation point of view. Now, as far as the drug is concerned, if it is a breach, broken any rules, then yes, the strictest action must be taken. And there is no second chance whatsoever. Secondly, now as far as the aircraft are having sunk 300 feet, etc. First of all, you're making a big issue of 300 feet. In case of major turbulences, aircrafts have dropped not 300 feet, but 3,000 feet also. And there have been far severe consequences to the turbulence. Now, whether this has had turbulence, there are theories of the hydraulic failure, there are theories of the autopilot tripping. Let me, from the aviation point of view, let me explain to you, all our viewers, that if the autopilot trips during a normal flight, for whatever reason, it is not going to just drop 300 feet. It'll give you a warning. The pilot has to re-engage the autopilot, and that's about it. Now, why has it gone 300 feet? To my mind, what I believe could have happened, and there's also some theory that there was a stall warning indication. Now, why would you get a stall warning if the normal aircraft at that normal altitude is flying at about 300 knots? You cannot suddenly drop down to 100 knots straight away. It'll take some time, and there must be some reason why it has happened. And if at all the speed has dropped, and that is why it is possible that the co-pilot who was handling the controls could have pushed the stick down to recover from the stall condition and keep the aircraft flying safely. And that is what could have lost the 300 feet, and that is what causes a negative G in the aircraft. And that's when all the passengers could have been hit on the ceiling and got injured also. So therefore, there are various things which are not clear at this point in time. Let's get some more evidence available. And one second, which is far more important than all this that we are discussing, is a passing reference to what Captain Randhawa made earlier, that the DGCA needs to be revamped. Not today. Randhawa is the president of the Federation of Indian Pilots today. We have put this up to the Prime Minister and all the aviation industries more than 35 to 40 years back, that we need an independent safety board, and the whole office of the DGCA needs to be revived and restructured. Why is it that today we are talking to the FIP? Why was the FIP formed in the first place? When we formed the FIP, there were no aviators in the whole office of the DGCA. DGCA had only bureaucrats. So you need specialists to understand these technical issues. And therefore, I hope this issue is taken up very strongly by Randhawa and the FIP, and I endorse it very strongly, and go to the past references that we have also made to the Prime Minister on the same subject, that we must have an independent safety board, and safety board not of bureaucrats, not qualified people, but specialists who are trained in accident analysis. That is extremely essential.
Yeah, sir, but there is one problem here. I'll tell you what the problem is. I want to bring in Dr. Vandana Singh, and we have a passenger here, sir. With due respect to you, we have a passenger. Passenger has been on that flight. Passenger has been witness to what happened, was, there throughout until the flight landed and they were taken to the hospital. And the problem here is with the human intervention. Okay, technical issues, we can debate it, let it be investigated, fine. But if I'm driving a school bus, and there are 50 school children in my bus, and if I have consumed marijuana, and if there is an incident in the bus that I'm driving, right, and there's a drug test conducted on me, and I test positive for marijuana not once but twice, there is a serious problem. Dr. Vandana Singh, it's as simple as that. I'll tell you what the problem also is. The problem also is with a response that came in, and let me read out that response that came in. I think I should read that out, because a crazy kind of a response that came in from the DGCA, right, on Sunday, where they said positive test doesn't prove pilot was impaired. Positive, I'm repeating that, positive test doesn't prove pilot was impaired. Toxicology and impairment are two different things. And we were also told by the DGCA that positive toxicology doesn't automatically prove impairment. I mean, what the hell are they smoking?
Niranjan, a very good evening to you. and a very good evening to you, Abhishek, and to all the fellow panelists here. I want to just put something here as a perspective. Strict law is not about being harsh. I think it's about being fast. Not only do the rules need to be changed in the car, in the civil aviation requirements by the DGCA, the rules that are there since 1937 or what, I would go one step ahead and say there has to be a bill proposed for safety and accountability. And things like this, when you're taking something which is psychotropic, psychoactive, something like marijuana, or there's a substance abuse, it has to have zero tolerance. There is no question. Like you just said, you're driving even a car, and if your family is sitting behind and you've taken some drug there, that itself is an offense. I want to see a change in the law. I think this is a criminal offense. And I want to say here, coming from the aviation industry myself, I want to say this, that if a pilot knows tomorrow that he's going to be named and that he can be probably penalized and he can be jailed, then I don't think he would even think of taking a drug like this, if this is marijuana. Coming to the second point that Captain Wadia made, there has to be a clear line of what medicines are allowed, which is green, what are questionable, which is amber, a basic traffic light scenario, and red, which is a no-go. Now, in our country, this is very, very vague. So I won't compare our rules and regulations same as to FAA. No, I think we are very slow. We do not penalize. We are just having suspension. There is no cancellation. It is suspension first, and then second instance, there is cancellation. I think the laws need to be very, very strict here. You're playing with lives of passengers. You are talking about safety and accountability. And as a pilot, whether you're a pilot in command, you were not on your captain's seat at that time. There was a first officer there, as I understand.
Yeah.
Whatever the case is, this is unacceptable, Niranjan.
You have really nailed it, Vandana Singh. And I want to get in Kabir Malik and Subhash Goyal also. You first, Mr. Goyal. The point is that if you look at the aviation sector, the kind of duopoly with which we are living, it's almost like the airlines can say take it or leave it and get away with it. And that seems to be happening again and again and again, at least with Air India. And it happened towards the end of last year with Indigo as well. It's a sector issue.
I'm surprised at this incident. Firstly, I think all the pilots, before they take the flight command, when they are boarding, I think that time every pilot needs to be tested. In many countries, it's done like that. I don't know why in Thailand or in India, it is not being done. We are getting wise after the event, number one. Number two, if it is decided or it is concluded that yes, this pilot has taken some drugs, then yes, I agree that the strictest action should take place and his license should be cancelled or whatever the law provides. The safety and security of the plane and the passengers is of utmost importance. That is number two. Number three, I don't understand that, well, I think they're demanding about an independent aviation authority. You see, I agree that, you need technical experts in DGCA. You need people who have retired from Air Force. You need people who are retired commercial pilots. There should be an advisory board. But, if you disband DGCA and make another authority and still don't have the experts, the technical experts, then it is only a name change.
Yeah.
You see, DGCA is also an authority, but you name the change and have an independent authority. You see, who will appoint that independent authority? You see, ultimately, we need to professionalize our institutions. You see, what is happening is that
it's understood. It is a given that the authority like the DGCA has to have subject experts.
Republic. You don't allow a person to speak, and that's why I don't come on Republic. Let me complete my sentence at least.
Complete your point, sir. Complete your point.
No, yeah, because whole thinking track gets finished.
Doesn't matter, sir. Please complete your point.
What I'm saying, sir, is that we need to first have professional people, technical people, retired Air Force people, retired pilots who should be there in like an advisory or a control board in DGCA. And secondly, we must have a strict thing that every pilot, before he takes a plane, it should be a cow regulation that every country, the pilot should be tested beforehand. So these are my points, and I think if this is done, such incidences can be avoided.
Point
and
taken, sir.
as far as technical is concerned, the Airbus team is has already probably arrived.
Yeah.
And let them investigate with the AIB, and let us wait for the final report.
Great.
Before we take our assumptions. Thank
Fantastic. Now, fantastic. Now, see, the problem is, Abhishek, I'll tell you there's a problem, okay? Since June, and even before June, we've been sitting here and having these debates. And we've had Kabir Malik, we've had Subhash Goel, we've had Captain Minu Wadia, we have had Dr. Vandana Singh, we've had Captain Randhawa. Now, Shilpi Jain has come. Now, my question is to Kabir Malik, I think, hasn't spoken. So let me ask him, because he's also a charter pilot, right, Kabir? Yeah. Kabir, let me ask you a question. We've been talking about DGCA needs to change, this one needs to happen, that one needs to happen, change needs to come, better screening process. Air India happened, no? Ajit Pawar crash happened, no? Ajit Pawar crash, the pilot had a history of alcohol violation. And then we'll come here and sit and we'll say, let the probe happen, let the report come, DGCA is bad, this one is bad. What the hell are we doing? You had a crash in January, if I'm not wrong. Ajit Pawar died.
January 29th.
Yeah, Ajit Pawar died. Yeah, and that pilot he had a history and a controversial record of alcohol violations. You're a charter pilot, right? You know what I'm talking about. So what's this joke going on? We're still sitting here debating, listening. Okay, we'll see, we'll talk. Change must come.
See, thing is that if you think that something when happened, we just think about that, why it has happened, how we will change this and that. This is not fair, actually. It will go the international level, whatever the rule and regulations there. If we follow all these things, definitely it would not going to be happen in future. Why in our country we are so lenient towards of passenger safety and the security completely ignored? Here are three questions. Why we are in this industry? Why we are in this industry? For whom or for what? The answer will come only for the passengers. If the passengers are not safe. So what is the use of this industry? There is no use. So this is the main point. If we are not implemented or executed the law which is required for the particular people, those who are in this industry are working as an employee in a cockpit or in the fuselage also. Things we have to be look after very seriously, and things will be implement on them. And we have to maintain the medical logbook every and each employees by the DGC also and the Airport Authority of India, as well as the airline also. And they have to be published weekly report on the online on the particular website, through that which every passenger can check the pilot's status, how and which condition they are flying, and what is the habitual status of their pilots actually. If we will not implement these kind of things in our country, definitely this kind of incident will face very shortly in our upcoming time also, and our industry will be lose a big business, even the big passengers also upcoming times. So there would be no compromise of the safety of our passengers and the aviation's history.
Okay, my last question is to Shilpi Jain. Shilpi Jain, see, in the case of Ajit Pawar, Ajit Pawar ka crash hua tha na, the charter jet. I'll tell you what happened in his case. No, there was a captain on board called Captain Sumit Kapoor. Okay, Captain Sumit Kapoor had tested positive for alcohol on 2 separate occasions. March 13, 2010, Sumit Kapoor failed a pre-flight alcohol test ahead of a Delhi-Bengaluru service. April 7, 2017, again tested positive before a scheduled Delhi-Guwahati flight. And despite all of that, he was flying Ajit Pawar's flight. plane. He was a chartered pilot. When you hear of this, as a passenger who's been through a near-death experience, what is your message to all these people who make the laws and who govern our airlines? What is your message to them, Shilpi?
So I would like to say that this is ridiculous, right? This should not be in the standard procedure. I think if someone is testing positive before flying the plane, he should not be permitted to fly the plane, because you are risking lives of many passengers, including yours. So I think this should be ruled out. If someone is testing positive, so they should not be flying the plane, because it was a near-death experience for me. It's a rebirth for me. And that is horrifying. This is not a joke that you are just drinking and you are drugged and then you are flying a plane. This should not be the case.
Not drinking, smoking.
Yeah, smoking up. I think that's the.
Yeah, smoking up, drug, whatever.
Was high, whatever it was. Yeah. So okay.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people calling in, so I will take one caller. Right. Captain Minuwadia is putting his hand up. Captain Minuwadia will take one caller and you can respond to that caller. Captain Ramamurthy from Pune. Yes, Ramamurthy. What's your point? And
very good evening to you. It's a very, very serious issue. Very serious issue. That is it. If they are found guilty, they deserve nothing less than death penalty, because it is for their negligence. So many passengers would have lost their life. And hereinafter, in the air, it's a very serious issue. And taking moral responsibility, the top brass of Air India should resign not only, and from the aviation industry, hereinafter, the drug and alcohol test should be mandatory before they get into the plane, because they are playing with the life of children. So many passengers. So Air India has completely lost the credibility.
Yeah, that's a problematic issue. Captain Minuwadia, yes, last response, and then we'll end it. Yeah.
Just 30 seconds. Let me make a very categorical and a firm statement. To my mind, and I can give you evidence to that effect, that DGCA is an impediment to aviation safety in India. To give you a very strong example, we do not have any people who are trained in accident analysis, aviators. I had arranged from United Nations, that is ICAO, to have a team of specialists to come and train aviators in India on accident analysis. Can you imagine, after DGCA was informed we wanted to send a lot of pilots for training, they didn't allow a single pilot to attend the course. Not a single pilot, only bureaucrats attended the full course.
It's a problem, sir. It's a huge problem. It's a big problem, sir. It's a mess. I think we'll take this up tomorrow. In fact, we want to investigate this further, and with the promise that we will come back to the subject.
We'll come back with more on how the Air India management is really handling and getting away with murder, literally. Because there is no accountability, and it seems like the market dynamics are such that they can get away with it, or they seem to be getting away.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this debate. All right, the next subject this evening is from Tamil Nadu. Now, Tamil Nadu government, Abhishek, the Vijay government is in a big fix. Last week, they faced what they call the rosary controversy. And then you had the speaker, who's supposed to be apolitical. The speaker made a pitch for convention halls where pastors could come and speak and convert people. And yesterday, he was at an anti-abortion rally at a march, right? And another minister is in trouble for comparing Christianity to the Tamil language. Now, he's facing a secular test, and it's not looking good for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at it, this Christian spin to governance that seems to be happening on the watch of Vijay has a certain basis to it. Is it to do with the chief minister's own leanings? Is it to do with the ministers pushing the envelope? Is it to do something with an institutionalized understanding in the Vijay camp that they should be doing it? Because remember, about the religious leanings of the chief minister and the religious leanings of the leader of opposition in Tamil Nadu today, there is a debate. And that's going to be our conversation after a short package on the facts of this story.
The birth of yet another controversy. The TVK is now being accused of pushing the Catholic Church's agenda in Tamil Nadu. This comes after the Speaker, Prabhakar, took part in an anti-abortion rally held by the Catholic Church. The Tamil Nadu Assembly Speaker echoed anti-abortion views by declaring that life begins at conception. He openly spouted Catholic views on abortion during the rally. Vijay came to power promising a secular government, and he is now silent at the controversy.
The question now comes right at the time an FCRA bill is all set to pass in the parliament and the talks are going on. A state resolution was passed today asking for the FCRA to be stopped and not agreeable in the state of Tamil Nadu. Multiple Christian organization leaders met Chief Minister Joseph Vijay yesterday, and at the same time there is J.C.D. Prabhakar he speaks about an anti-abortion rally, and in this speech he also mentioned that the life starts at conception and not after birth, and that this comes as a big question mark, and the BJP is now criticizing Mr. Prabhakar and asking, while the abortion process is legal, while abortion is completely acceptable in the state of Tamil Nadu and completely legal according to the medical records in India, why should the TVK leader approach Christian organizations and promote anti-abortion rallies?
This is not the first time Vijay's government has been accused of attempting to push Catholic views in his administration. State Finance Minister Mary Wilson sparked public outrage for carrying rosary bead and a cross during the budget presentation. The big question now remains, is the newly inducted TVK government appealing to a particular religion and pushing its agendas in its administration?
Okay, Shazia Elmi, Savio Rodriguez, Nandakumar, T.J. Abraham and Kannan Rajaratnam are joining us on the debate. Let me start with you, Savio. What's the problem, Savio? What's the problem here?
Well, I'm a little confused in terms of the intent of the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu and his entire cabinet. While personally I am very much a pro-life person and I support pro-life initiatives, I think whether you are for abortion or not abortion is really coming under the gambit or the ambit of the laws of the country. And when the laws of the country are supreme over what anybody's religious beliefs are or what anybody's genuine intent is. But when you bring these kind of beliefs or intent in the front, then you are creating a confusion. You are talking about secularism without understanding what secularism truly is. Because secularism is not the acceptance of all religious beliefs in matters of governance, but it's the acceptance of no religious belief in matters of governance, and law and rights of a citizen is supreme over religious belief. But I believe the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Joseph Vijay's intent and belief system is what he's trying to translate or put into the workings of the Tamil Nadu government, because he believes he's been put in that position by the power of God that has put him in that position, and that's his religious thought process. And therefore, he is definitely going to take the stand, be without any doubt that he's going to be pushing what he believes are pro-Christian agendas, because he believes he has been successful because of that. Now, what needs to be understood and looked at is whether that fits within the ambit of the laws of the country. And that's where the complication is going to arise.
Okay, but Mr. Nandakumar, I would say there is no problem. It's not an accusation that you are Christian. There is no problem being Catholic. There is no problem being saying pro-life, except for that the etymology of pro-life is politically Catholic, particularly in the American political context. But my question is that this is the same TVK, Mr. Nandakumar, which has gone to the Supreme Court against Madras High Court order in the Thirupurankundaram case. Thirupurankundaram case. Because the government believed, though that's not secular, or the government believed that this should not happen. Now, how do you juxtapose these two positions? I have no problem with being Christian, being Catholic, being pro-life, but why do you have problem with the lighting of the lamp?
Abhishek, any government is having its own rights to go for an appeal in the Supreme Court, whatever the case they seem to be deemed fit for them. So appealing in the Supreme Court against an High Court order itself, it is not a symbol of being a non-secularism. So what is secularism? And Vijay is a person who calls that all religion is my religion. And secularism is not asking a person to hide his religious identity. But a secular government or a secularism is treating every religion with same line and not to differentiate or not to discriminate any religion.
But that
is
seems
what,
to be
to my
happening.
understanding, secularism is. If you wanted to accuse the TVK government of being a non-secular government just based on a participation of Mr. JCD Prabhakar
No, I'm not accusing. Sorry, I'm not accusing. Mr. Nankumar, no, I'm not accusing. I said I have no problem with being Christian, being Catholic, being pro-life. I'm saying why object to the Deepothan?
Mr. Nankumar, could you please define secularism? Because you all keep harping about secularism.
No, Savio, I'm saying he has to take the question head on. He's obfuscating. You know, what's the problem with Deepothun then?
Yeah,
that's secularism.
Just now I have explained.
There's a great
just now I have explained.
I have no problem with your pro-life rally, but what's the problem with Deepothun then? And that too after a court instruction.
No, that's what Abhishek, I said that the High Court order is not a supremacy and every state is having a provision to appeal their case in the Supreme Court. That is for the very purpose the Supreme Court is in existence.
That's the legal argument. I was saying in principle, what's the problem with Deepothun if I have no problem with the pro-life rally?
No, that's what I'm saying. You have to distinguish between the personal views, personal opinion, party ideology and government policy. You have to be knowing the distinction between all these four. And here the JCD Prabhakar, he might be participating is one of his function, and even already the Health Minister of Tamil Nadu, Mr. Arun Raj, has already clarified that the state health policy is not to do anything with the statement that of
but he's a
Mr.
speaker.
JCD Prabhakar.
Mr. Nandakumar,
clarification has already come.
No, but the problem is that he's a speaker. First of all, speaker should be apolitical. Okay. Now there is a problem. Okay, there is a problem when he's seen to be batting for a cause. Now, Shazia, I'd like to quickly get your views on this.
There is a problem when he's batting for a cause.
1 minute, sir.
What is wrong with you all?
Sir,
what are you trying to say?
One second.
What are you trying to tell the world?
TJ, 1 second. TJ, 1 second. TJ, there is a law in India, no? There is a law, no, in India?
So first of all,
there is a law in India or no? There is a law in India or no?
Irrespective of the law.
No.
Irrespective of the law. Irrespective of the law.
Irrespective of the law.
I mean, how can you be irrespective of the law?
Irrespective of the law, okay.
Why not?
So I just have to make
irrespective of the law, there are murders. Irrespective of the law, there are rapes. You'll be able to stop that? Pro-life.
What's your point?
Pro-life.
1 minute.
No, there is no problem with pro-life.
There was no religion there.
Shazia is telling you the problem. She has a problem.
So, yeah,
Her party
I
has
would
a
like to
problem.
address that, sir. First of all,
Anti-abortion.
India, our constitutional democracy is run by rule of law. Being pro-life is not automatically unconstitutional. Anybody can hold the moral religious belief that you have. But the speaker is indeed a constitutional office holder. Now, he is not simply a private citizen. And if you look at the law act you're talking about, MTP, let me finish. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet.
There is a law governing.
Don't scream. Don't scream. No, don't scream like a bigot. Allow me to finish.
Let her finish and then you can hear it.
It's just good manners.
Your point.
Now, India's abortion framework, there is an abortion framework in India, but it is not an unrestricted right to abortion. So we have to go with the MTP Act. As amended, it does permit termination of pregnancy under specified conditions. And there are what do you call the gestational, conditions. And the Supreme Court has recognized. You see, this is something I know a little something about.
Wow.
There is reproductive autonomy and decisional privacy.
Wow.
And that is also a very, very important aspect. So, and I keep saying this all the time. For this reason and many, many more, we have to have something like a UCC in the country and go by the law of the land. Because you're right, the pro-life mentality does interfere with a lot of women and lot of couples.
Clarify if you're pro-abortion.
Freedom.
No, what do you mean? Clarify if you're pro-abortion. 1 minute. TJ, 1 minute. TJ, first of all, calm down. There is nothing wrong with someone. Pro-abortion. No, 1 minute. Abortion is something that the laws allow for abortion. So what are you trying to achieve by asking someone, are you pro-abortion? Laws allow, no?
Now, constitutional authority like the Speaker, Mr. Prabhakar, going for an anti-abortion rally you find fault with it because there is a law. There is a law governing the education system in this country. How did Anandi Ben go visit the women's hostels particularly and tell the Gorakhpur administration to interfere and do something, rectify? Who's the governor? She's a constitutional authority.
It is difficult to understand what you're saying, but the law has to be followed.
You will not talk about that.
A lot of things happen which are not legally correct. But eventually the law of the land prevails.
There's nothing illegal. What is illegal here? What is illegal?
I'm not able to understand what you're saying, sir.
No.
I wish you could comprehend what you are saying because none of us can.
What is the illegality? What is the illegality?
No, I think they're all beating around the bush. 1 minute. I'll take Kannan. 1 minute. Okay, Kannan, I believe Kannan will be 1 minute, TJ, 1 second. TJ, don't heckle. No, I mean, nobody's heckling here. Just calm down. See, Kannan, my question is to Kannan. I'd like to ask my question to Kannan. Kannan, there is a problem. Okay, I'll come to the point, Kannan. See, Kannan, I'll come to the point, okay? Now, we're not getting into who funded Vijay's TVK. We've gone through that, right? Now, we don't want to, and it's wrong. I mean, anybody can fund, of course. It will come under the ambit of investigations. They'll have to declare later, all of that. That's fine. Now, there was a rosary controversy. Now, did I create the controversy? No. But was it raised in the assembly? Was it raised by political parties? Yes. Now, there was also a controversy involving the same Mr. Prabhakar. And I'll tell you about the controversy, Kannan. Kannan will be able to tell me because Kannan is sitting in Chennai. You see, Mr. Kannan, it's not only about marching with church bodies or being against the FCRA bill or whatever, right? Back in July, after taking the chair of the Speaker of the Assembly, JCD Prabhakar, in a private event organized by a Christian missionary, stated that Siranai Arangam should be once again built. Now, Siranai Arangam is a temporary structure that was built on the Marina Beach, which was generally used by Christian groups to run conferences. And these conferences, though directly did not focus on conversion, but promoted Christianity and backed proselytization more than a religion. See, there is a problem. There is a feeling when these controversies come up of questions are being asked by the BJP. I think some AIDMK leaders have also raised questions. I think you got the point, Kannan.
Yeah. I wanted to clarify that I'm no backer of the Vijay government. I back...
okay, we'll just correct that. Okay.
Not to worry.
Yeah.
So the Sirani Arangam was not a Christian platform. It was a public platform that was... out there on the marina for decades and huge rallies. I'm 64. I've been to several rallies over there, and it was taken away during Jayalalitha's second or third term. I forget now. So it is not a bully pulpit for Christian missionaries. They also used it, but I remember it as a place where our tallest leaders like C.N. Annadurai and others took the floor. And then even Rajaji and Kamaraj in 1971 used that bully pulpit. Now, going back to JCD Prabhakaran is a very seasoned individual. I know him from a distance. It's unclear why he should wade into this controversy. I think when it comes to faith and so on, as somebody said, it's like your undergarment. You wear it inside. You don't wear it on your sleeves. So he's a constitutional authority. He's an extremely seasoned individual. He carries the speakership in a very dignified manner. In fact, a speaker, the term speaker is a misnomer. A speaker should daily speak.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't be speaking and speaking his mind. Reportedly, he had said something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's said to be confirmed if he had said that life begins at conception, etc. But
He has said it.
If he had said it, I'm sorry that he had said it. He shouldn't. He shouldn't. This TVK administration.
Kannan, but
Life doesn't start at conception. Life doesn't start at conception.
Kannan,
you have your views. You have right to
remain
have your
serious.
views.
You have absolute entitlement to your views, but there can be different views. Also, my point is that there seems to be more than a coincidence in the speaker's position, in the minister's position, in the chief minister's position, in the establishment position in Chennai. And I believe we have run out of time. Otherwise, we would have wanted to ask some more questions of TJ. But Niranjan, yeah, I think there is definitely more than coincidence insofar as what's happening in Chennai with the Vijay government. Maybe at an opportune moment. In future, we'll come back to it.
Completely run out of time. We'll go to the next debate at 9 p.m. That's on the FCRA bill. It's going to the JPC. It's taking the Waqf route. All about that coming up.
देखो कैसे भी हो दिन रंग 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 बना रहे धूप में भी तेरा रंग बना रहेगा रहेगा रे रंगा ढंगा अतरंगा जो होना है वो तो होना ही है रंगीले तू सदा मुस्कुरा सदा 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 मुस्कुरा रंग 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 रंगीन रे देखो कैसे भी हो दिन रंग बना रहे बोझ पेंट्स रंग बना रहे
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
जरा सोच के देखिए आपके पास कुछ ऐसा है जो आपकी दुनिया बदल सकता है जानते हैं क्या आपका अपना सोना सोना क्या नहीं कर सकता सोना आपको अपने सपनों का घर दिला सकता है आपके बच्चों का भविष्य बना सकता है सोना आपकी हर इच्छा पूरी कर सकता है तो भारत की सबसे बड़ी गोल्ड लोन NBFC मुथूट फाइनेंस से गोल्ड लोन लीजिए और फिर देखिए सोना क्या नहीं कर सकता मुथूट फाइनेंस जहां विश्वास ही परंपरा है कॉल कीजिए 1-800-313-1212
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
पापा
सॉरी यार गलती हो गई है ये चोट खर्चा वर्चा
अरे लास्ट बॉल पे छक्का भी तुम्हारा
छक्का
सब कैशलेस हो गया है हाँ
ला भाई मेरा बैट वो अभी तो ठीक हुआ तू
जो डिस्चार्ज हुआ यार
बैट किसका है
टाटा AIG है तो भरोसा है
बेस्ट हरा बोर्ड दिखाना सबसे डिपेंडेबल सेंचुरी HDF प्रीमियम प्लस
ट्रायल लूंगा
श्योर वाटर रेजिस्टेंट है स्ट्रॉन्ग है high density wood fiber structure advanced German adhesive bonding solid defense
ट्रायल में पास
सेंचुरी के 40 सालों का भरोसा हरे बोर्ड का असली बॉस सेंचुरी HDF प्रीमियम प्लस
रंगीन रे देखो कैसे भी हो दिन रंग 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 बना रहे धूप में भी तेरा रंग बना रहेगा रहेगा रे रंगा ढंगा अतरंगा जो होना है वो तो होना ही है रंगीले तू सदा मुस्कुरा सदा सदा मुस्कुरा रंग 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 रंगीन रे देखो कैसे भी हो दिन रंग बना रहे बोझ पेंट्स रंग बना रहे
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
भारत की सबसे बड़ी गोल्ड लोन एनबीएफसी मुथूट फाइनेंस से गोल्ड लोन लीजिए और फिर देखिए सोना क्या नहीं कर सकता। कॉल कीजिए 1-800-313-1212।
बेस्ट हरा बोर्ड दिखाना सबसे डिपेंडेबल सेंचुरी HDF प्रीमियम प्लस
ट्रायल लूंगा।
श्योर
वाटर रेजिस्टेंट
है
स्ट्रॉन्ग
है हाई डेंसिटी वुड फाइबर स्ट्रक्चर एडवांस जर्मन एडहेसिव बॉन्डिंग सॉलिड डिफेंस
ट्रायल में पास।
सेंचुरी के 40 सालों का भरोसा हरे बोर्ड का असली बॉस सेंचुरी HDF प्रीमियम प्लस।
5:30 बजे शाम को आज जो है बहुत तेज फैसला आया है। कारण जो है वहाँ पे एक बेलीवेज था जो कि बह गया और वहाँ पे हमने इसको के लिए हम लोगों ने एनडीआरएफ की जगह पे टीम भेज दी गई है। तहसीलदार और टीम चली गई है मौके के लिए।
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for the debate.
Thank you for joining us on the debate. Ladies and gentlemen, Abhishek and I, Niranjan, we are filling in for Arnab. He will be back on the show tomorrow. And at 9 p.m, we are coming to you with the big story of the FCRA bill. We've had a development today, Abhishek, with the FCRA bill. We are hearing that the bill will be presented in Parliament, but will be sent to JPC eventually.
Well, yes.
What does this mean?
What this means is part success on both the sides. So the opposition sort of, for the time being, succeeds in delaying.
But it's not being withdrawn.
But it's not being withdrawn, obviously. It goes to a JPC, which means that there can be a broader consultation to which the government is not averse. In fact, the government wanted that while the stakeholder consultation has already happened, if more needs to be done, it's absolutely open to the idea and even to the idea of incorporating suggestions coming in from the opposition. But because, as it is, the government, the opposition does not want to be seen to be cooperating with the government in any manner. And that's why I think in the Business Advisory Committee meeting that took place today in Niranjan, a decision was taken, let's take it to the JPC.
Now, there's a view that the government is pulled back on the FCRA bill. Now, does sending the bill to the JPC mean the government is pulling back? We've had the Waqf example. Waqf was sent to the JPC, the Waqf Act, and eventually was passed. Now, is this the government pulling back, or is this still a win-win?
No, to the contrary. The only last window available for the opposition to stall or delay has been exhausted now. So the government would say, okay, fine, not now, but in the winter session, but it's becoming the law.
So it's not about...
not backtracking at all.
So it's not about if the bill will be passed, it's about when the bill will be passed.
Exactly.
Okay.
Possibly winter session.
Possibly winter session. But ladies and gentlemen, one thing is absolutely clear now. Today the Congress has stalled Parliament. And today the Congress and TMC both have asked for the bill to be withdrawn. And it's becoming absolutely clear that from the CJP to all the excuses they've used to sort of block Parliament, to stall Parliament, to not allow the Parliament to function, it all boiled down to the FCRA bill. That was their eventual game. They wanted to block the FCRA bill, a bill that's highly contested, a bill that many stakeholders, mostly foreign stakeholders, weren't happy with. Here's the story so far.
The FCRA bill has been the focus of the monsoon parliament session.
The FCRA is a law which every country has under different labels. No country allows you to move capital freely.
Just a day before it was to be tabled in the parliament, it has been sent to a JPC. As the dust settles, the antics of the opposition becomes clear. The plan was to stall the FCRA bill in the parliament.
Abhishek, you had at the beginning of this parliament session, you had the CJP protest. You had attempts made to stall parliament. I think it's become increasingly clear, even today when the BJP held a news conference, when the Home Minister, they wanted Home Minister to come in. Home Minister saying, okay, I'm coming in. He's ready for a debate. But they don't want the debate, right? It appears that the intention was to stall parliament all along. Delimitation is not there. FCRA is the only significant piece of legislation now coming in which is so controversial. It is now clear that stalling FCRA was the single agenda perhaps in this session. Is that now becoming increasingly clear?
Well, moving of goalposts is something which the opposition has done this entire session, Niranjan. So it began with student protest, then it went to Dharmendra Pradhan, then it went to getting Amit Shah to speak in parliament. Now the government has said, okay, fine, we are ready. Are you ready to face? They are saying, no, we are not ready to face the Home Minister. So I think opposition is painting itself, or rather has painted itself in a corner.
What is it about the FCRA that spooks the opposition so much that they want the bill withdrawn?
विदेशी पैसा आए भारत को तबाह बर्बाद करने के लिए, इसके लिए पैसा आए, उसमें तो कुछ नहीं है. उसकी व्यवस्था है, कौन भेजेंगे कौन नहीं भेजेंगे, उसकी नियम है, कानून है. डर किसको? डर उसी को होगा जो उसका नाजायज.
Goalposts keep changing from demand of Dharmendra Pradhan's resignation to Home Minister to speak. But now the bill has been sent to a JPC for wider deliberations from all party. This shows that the bill will surely be reintroduced again. The question is no longer about whether it will be passed, but a matter of when. Let's debate.
Tuhin Sinha of the BJP, Ratan Sharda, Prabal Pratap Singh Jude, who is the national head of the All India Garvapsi Abhiyan. Now he is from Chhattisgarh, so he knows a thing or two about why FCRA bill is critical. We have Pankaj Sharma, who is a senior journalist and also pro-Congress. Advocate Tausif Khan, political analyst, pro-Trinamool Congress. Major Ashish Chaturvedi of the Samajwadi Party. Father Adrian Mascarenhas, who is the director of formation of Young Seminarian for Archdiocese of Bengaluru. He's joining us live. Okay, so Ratan Sharda, I'll start with you. You think the government could have done anything else from what they've done on this issue? Because there is a view that the government should have pushed ahead. They would have passed the bill. But that would have been, it would have been easy to do, but harder for everyone else to digest. Could they have done anything different in the case of FCRA?
Niranjan, see, government could have pushed the bill through. There is no doubt it has got good numbers. It is a normal, simple majority bill. But point was, if the opposition wanted to paint itself in a corner, trying to stall the parliament with one reason or the other, one issue or the other, and they wanted people to know, because as you have rightly pointed out, Govt was also taken to JPC. That didn't check anything, because ruling party has a majority there also. If they introduce something meaningful, it will happen. Otherwise, it will not happen. Govt also, whatever crucial sections were there, they were all there even when it came again. So let them there say, but it is a one-step retreat which will bring it back. And but if this is the way they are going to stall every bill, the way they behaved with triple talaq, the way they behaved with CAA, they will not stop it, because their ultimate aim is to show that it's a lame government. They have to show that there is no governance. Entire efforts is to show that democracy doesn't work, because that will be the end result that people will feel. The reason why youth are angry, we should realize, whether it's Jharkhand or Jantar Mantar, they feel that democracy is not working, because when people at home see the TV and see the cacophony of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, not any business being conducted, they feel frustrated. If the opposition feels that is going to change the face of the entire debate, it will not happen. And what is their opposition to FCRA? Do they want foreign agencies to influence Indian politics? Meta has admitted that they have received funds for supporting certain handles and boosting them.
Yeah.
We know that there are links which have been shown in various NGOs which receive money. We had Manmohan Singh clearly saying that Kundakulam project, or we know that Sterlite project, they were all stalled with the help of church-backed missionaries. We know that. And as far as conversion is concerned, who brought the first anti-conversion bill? Mr. Shukla in Madhya Pradesh way back in 1950. So Nehru didn't want it, he brought it. And when they supported missionaries, what is the reason for? Is right to propagate equal to right to convert? That is why they are opposing. So this opposition, blind opposition, one is that they just simply want to oppose anything blindly. Second is to gain that small sympathy from the minorities. Does this bill hit the minority? No. It hits the evangelist industry. It hits the NGO industry, which is out to create instabilities I have seen in so many cases. And so what has church to do with it? On one side they say we don't convert. On the other side they say they are stopping. What is the freedom of religion for them? To convert people? So the question is that whether it's conversion, whether it's foreign agencies interference in the Indian constitution and Indian nation, people support it. And if they believe that trying to appease certain sections of the society, like they are doing in case of Tamil Nadu regarding abortion, they are actually taking the community back to some regressive ideas. I don't think it is going to work, whether it's delayed or not. This delay is only going to put more pressure on people to understand why these people are opposing it. None of the FCRA bill concerns anybody in India. And is it a crime to ask for following the law? Is it crime to ask for audited results? Is it that only missionary-backed organizations are being shut? No. The huge number of FCRA-backed organizations that have been shut now belong to many other associations also. So to follow law or to break law, is it some sense of pride? I do not understand. Is trying to say conversion by allurement, by fraud is correct? It's not. Is Changai Sabha the very wonderful way the Punjab people have been converted is a good idea? Not at all. So why are they supporting such regressive steps? And why do they want interference of foreign bodies through NGOs? They have to explain.
Okay. Ratan Sharda, you have given broad contours of, you almost exhausted all the points I had for the debate, so I have to innovate. Now, let me go to Father Adrian Mascarenas and give him the opening remarks now. Father, just 2-3 broad questions and then you answer. Number one, given the fact that the Christian funding or church funding is just about 10 to 15% of the total funding that comes through the FCRA channel, is the Christian issue getting disproportionate share of the debate?
Actually 10%.
Yeah, 10 to 15%. It varies year to year. Second, we saw how things are changing in Tamil Nadu. We had a debate just a while back. And the manner in which the Christian issue is getting all the attention, you believe that the minority has the freedom that it needs to be heard. And 3, whatever outreach that has been made by the government with the Home Minister himself meeting Christian delegations twice in the last 1 month, you think the government is open to the idea of listening to you and hence it's a good beginning?
Thank you for your questions. See, I would like to first state that the FCRA is like a wolf in sheep's clothing. It has very sharp teeth and it appears very innocent, but in reality we know it may not be implemented in an innocent manner. We have seen some Christian organizations being targeted and silenced, including organizations that try to expose the human rights abuses in Manipur recently, and also various other human rights violations. So they are silenced precisely through use or misuse or abuse of FCRA provisions. But then what happened was the government realized that they can stop the FCRA, but they can't stop the work being done by the organizations. And so they have introduced new provisions now to stop the work by confiscating the assets of the institution and by totally halting the work by saying that if we don't renew your license, that means you forfeit all that has been built up by FCRA also. And so it is giving some extremely sharp teeth to the government, which can certainly be misused to target different agencies. Now, when it comes to freedom of speech, for example, there is a very thin line between political and non-political, and the regulations don't consider that. For example, if you are involved in human rights, is that a political activity? It can be in some cases, and there are no adequate safeguards for human rights defenders under this. Though there are conventions, international laws, but this FCRA provision is basically saying that you have no protection if you are receiving foreign funds. Now, one more important point.
I want to fact check Father, but Father can...
Confiscation of assets, there is no proportionate penalty. For example, if I have made a minor violation or a major violation, either way I can lose my whole institution with its assets or something like that. There's no provision for some small penalty. Okay, you have filed your report late, so maybe you pay a fine, and those provisions are not there. But rather, whatever the violation, you're going to lose your entire institution. Is that fair? And lastly, the question of whether it targets minorities, maybe you said 10 or 15% are Christians. We are finding that it does, and that is not so much because of the wording of the law, but rather because of the way in which the law has been implemented in recent years. Now, just now following your YouTube chat on the side, beside the YouTube channel, the chat is popping up. There are so many instances of hate speech against Christians which are coming on your own side. And these are increasing, they are entering the public domain, they are entering the public discourse. And it's partly because of the anti-conversion laws and things like that, where people are demonizing the minorities and making us like some kind of monsters when we are trying to serve society, we are promoting education, healthcare and all. These are not being recognized. Now we'll be losing our institutions and all based on this. You mentioned one more point about the Home Minister. Certainly his assurances have some value, but he only said that there is no retrospective effect. He did not say that there is no future effect of these laws, and so therefore we have to take his words with caution. Thank you.
Father, it is not a good thing to mislead people. Father, let me state a few facts for you, and I want Tuhin to come in on this. Father, a few facts for you, because you said there's a lot of work. Yes, there is a lot of good work done by the church, okay? And nobody is taking anything away, Father. But let me give you a few facts, and I want you to patiently hear me out. And Tuhin will respond to this because I just want to go one round to all speakers and then I'll come back to you. Point one, Father. Is it a coincidence that during the Kudankulam anti-nuke protests, the church technically had zero role to play? They shouldn't have played a political role. But as recorded in many websites, including websites that are Christian-backed, church served as assembly hubs and coordination centers during Kudankulam anti-nuclear protests. In Thoothukudi anti-Sterlite protest, the church played an active role in assembling people and giving support. It's been documented by even the Hindu. I can have this sent to you after this debate or during this debate. Third, during the anti-CAA and NRC protest...
I agree with the...
Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, so let me complete my point, Father. Anti-CAA and NRC protest, the church played a role. National Council of Churches opposed government on CAA and NRC, even though it had nothing to do with Indians, legal Indians. Fourth, anti-FCRA protest. The church and you yourself are opposing the FCRA bill, calling it a threat to Christianity and minorities. The anti-SIR movement, the Bengaluru Archdiocese, where you're speaking to me from, urged Catholics to verify electoral roll revisions and be careful about SIR. This is documented. I can send you a link on that as well. NEET protests at Jantar Mantar. Catholic and Orthodox church leaders have joined the protests at Jantar Mantar. I have the pictures as well. I can send you the pictures. Right? There was a fake video. Right? But there are genuine pictures of church leaders at the Jantar Mantar protest. Everybody has the right. It's a freedom of choice. It's great.
These are all legitimate exercises.
Exactly. Great. I'm making a point.
Freedom of speech.
I'm making a point, Father. Father, I'm making a point. I'll tell you what. Freedom of speech is good. And I'll tell you a very interesting aspect, Father. General elections with the Prime Minister in the fray in the year 2024, several archbishops, including from where you are speaking to me from in Bengaluru, openly took sides asking for a secular vote and a vote against Modi. That's what they indicated. Now, Hari Salve, who's a Christian, born Christian, spoke to our editor-in-chief a few days back. He said, The church is a place of worship. Since when did the church start playing a political role? Now, it's a question he asked. And 10% only out of the 23,000 crore of FCRA funding that came into India, only 2,300 was for church/Christian bodies. Now, you made a very, very, very dangerous point. And that is why I'm taking some time responding to Abhishek, if you don't mind. Because Father here said that the law will lead to seizure of assets of NGOs, including religious charities, places of worship, hospitals, schools, charitable organizations that rely on foreign donations. Fact check for you, Father, because India has welcomed genuine international partnerships. And let me give you a fact. When a registration is cancelled, I repeat, when a registration is cancelled or surrendered, foreign contribution and assets created from them already...
Or non-renewed.
No. Hear me, Father. Because people have to hear it in entirety. I'm reading from the law. When a registration is cancelled or surrendered, foreign contributions and assets created from them already vest in a state government authority. This has been the norm in force since 2010 when the UPA government passed the law. It is not new. What the 2026 bill adds is, Father, a designated authority to safeguard those assets and a way back. If the organization restores its registration, all assets and unused funds are returned in full as per the law. So I wanted to fact check you on that. Places of worship carry their own protection. Where a cancelled association has created property connected to a place of worship, property goes to another FCRA registered association of the same faith to ensure continuity of worship. This is the problem. You never mentioned that. It goes to another FCRA registered association of the same faith to ensure continuity of worship. There is no targeting of minorities. It's a fact check, Father. I'll send you a link to whatever I have said. I have a link. I'm going to Tuhin. Tuhin is a very calibrated sort of a campaign.
No,
Tuhin.
the words are incomplete.
No, it is. I have read the law for you, Father. I've read the law for you. I will send you the entire... I assure you at the end of this debate, you will have the entire link from me. Tuhin.
When they shut down Sterlite, which
good evening.
I would like to add that you have not read the entire law because non-renewal is deemed to be...
We'll come back to you, Father. We'll come back to you, Father. We'll come back to you.
Tuhin, Father. Tuhin.
Good evening, Niranjan. Good evening, everybody. I think your fact check has been very comprehensive, very spot on. So, in fact, one of the key components of the proposed amendment is setting up of a regulatory authority to deal with foreign funded assets whose registration has expired. So, for it actually those assets whose registration have expired actually tend to gain from it, because like you mentioned, there is a way out for them to be reclaimed in case the registration is restored. So I don't know why most of our opposition leaders have started behaving like Riley Moore, the US senator who, spread all kinds of misconceptions about the bill by going to the extent of saying that this bill will encourage religious takeover. Rather, this only maintains, strengthens continuity. This bill only strengthens continuity. But yes, the whole purpose of these amendments and, the whole purpose of strengthening the FCRA Act, and we have done it thrice before in 2020, 2022, this government. I'm talking about this government itself. Modi government has done it thrice before. The whole idea is to encourage transparency. The whole idea is to strengthen accountability while also enhancing the sovereignty of the country. So why is this opposition so rattled? Because like you said, if you go through the clauses, there is no point behaving like, Riley Moore. There is no point, spreading all kinds of misconceptions about it, because all of those are imagined situations. My point is that, does the Congress party have something to hide insofar as the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation is concerned? Is it something, is it something to do with Rajiv Gandhi Foundation's funding and the usage of those funds for purposes that they were not meant to be? Because there has to be some plausible reason. For the last 3 weeks, this opposition has been obstructing Parliament only to only to obstruct discussion on three important bills. The first is FCRA amendment bill, the second is delimitation, the third is women's reservation. I don't want to come to the second and third, but yes, when they behave like this on the FCRA amendment bill, it shows somewhere the compromised nature of our opposition parties, and they have a lot of explaining to do.
Okay. Pankaj Sharma, if I can get in the Congress view also before, we go back to Mr. Mascarina's. Pankaj Sharma, the Congress is guilty of on two counts in this debate. One, of course, moving the goalposts, keep moving the goalposts. And second, having a zero-sum game mentality. I mean, in the sense that the Congress says, just don't bring it. Now, the reason why this is problematic, Pankaj Sharma, is because some of the provisions insofar as end beneficiary is concerned are to make our laws compliant with FATF, for example, Financial Action Task Force. It's a UN body, it's a UN mandate. Now, why the Congress party would object to that? It is about terror funding. It is about channelizing of funds using certain mechanisms of routing money for these illicit activities. The FATF wants those changes to be made, and they are getting reflected in the FCRA. Why should Congress have this very zero-sum game mindset?
Nobody supports terror funding. Nobody is in favor of terror funding. ONG is asking why opposition is rattled. Opposition is rattled because this bill was never about foreign money. It is about domestic dissent. That is why opposition is rattled. Because through the bill, the government demanding the power to seize decades-old lawfully built schools, clinics, and offices overnight over a licensing technicality. How can any responsible opposition allow this whimsical high-handedness? At the same time, Modi government has given the RSS, which has never registered itself as an organization under any law, total free pass. One kind of money needs a designated authority that can confiscate properties. Another kind needs nothing at all. So when you don't do your homework properly and push bills just to satisfy your ego, you have to ultimately pull back. That is why the bill is now going to the JPC. See, do you know in last decade, in one decade, 22,498 FCRA registrations have been cancelled. The very trust that holds an FCRA license to receive foreign donations for the Ram Temple is the one where lakhs and crores of cash went missing under its own staff's watch for weeks before anyone noticed. This government's real concern is financial accountability. That is where its designated authority should start. The sun gets a free pass, civil society gets a designated authority. So what is all this?
Okay, there's a little bit
of the point.
Yeah,
opposition is rattled because of these things.
Okay, fact check there, a little bit of a fact check.
I don't think.
Yeah, sir, 1 second. Ratan Shardaji, 1 minute. Ratan Shardaji, 1 second. Point number 1, if there's any foreign funding to the RSS, that will also be under FCRA Act. They will have to comply with the FCRA. That's point number 1. I don't think, Pankaj Sharma, you are clear about that. Okay, they have to.
I am clear about that. The government must pass a bill to regulate CSR funding by the private sector corporates
it is already
government undertakings. Do you know between 2015 and 2025, in 10 years, companies in India distributed a total of over 2.25 lakh crore in corporate social responsibility funds. Annual distribution have increased by 4 times.
What does that have to do?
Of this money went to which organization? You know, money is going to Ekal Vidyalaya Foundation, to Seva Bharati, to Vaidhyaki Pratishthan, to Seva or Anusandhan Sanstha in Nagpur. You know, most of the money, even from public sector units, ONGC, do you know how much ONGC has contributed
So that's not foreign funding.
What is
that's not foreign funding.
NGOs.
1 minute. There is. I'll tell you. He's misleading right now.
That's not foreign funding.
Let me fact check him. Because CSR funding is very strictly prohibited, strictly regulated. Okay, CSR funding, I repeat, is very strictly regulated. Because he made a lot of points about CSR and he gave a lot of big numbers like 2.5 lakh crore. Let me tell you one thing.
So that's a different debate.
No, but because he said it, I can't let it go unregulated because people will really think that this 2.5 lakh crore went straight to RSS or RSS-linked affiliations, going by what Pankaj Sharma said. In India, it is governed by Section 135, Schedule 7 of the Companies Act 2013, launched, formed, passed by UPA government and the Congress, which Pankaj Sharma himself has supported and is a part of. Okay? And it is really wrong for him to say that and get away with it. Now, he made another point, Abhishek, that about the RSS. The RSS will also have to, he's saying something. What are you saying? What are you showing, Ratan Sharda? What are you showing and what is it?
I am showing a simple table. Pankaj in his enthusiasm has given some very wonderful figures. This is by a CA, the comparison of remittance versus CSR spends, FCRA. 2012-13 was 12,614 crore, CSR was 3,367 crore. 2018-19 remittance was 19,764 crore and CSR was 17,000. And in 22-23 remittance by FCRA was 22,085 and CSR was 27,141. Not the kind of fancy figure as his anyway.
No, but that's apples and oranges, Ratan Sharda. It's not about foreign funding is different ball game altogether.
I am talking foreign funding versus CSR. Last time in one debate, a cleric was saying that we are getting money because local companies don't have enough funds. And this disproves the idea that Indian people don't give money for the social work. That was his claim. So he has to go to foreign agencies because we don't collect enough money for these people, which is totally wrong. Secondly, RSS has no foreign account. It gets no foreign money. If it is caught with the foreign money, they can charge under any section they have for, hawala or whatever. But the fact is, every NGO, every allied organization, volunteer association, allied with the thoughts of RSS is registered. Very few have FCRA licenses.
80% of some affiliates overseas registered and published tax records. 97 of 107 in the US, 23 of 26 in the UK. Those US charities sent an estimated 2,800 crores.
Okay, Pankaj Sharma, just let him complete.
I don't expect him to heckle. He's a senior person.
No, Pankaj, let him complete. We'll come back to you. We have enough time.
Many years.
We have enough time. We'll come back.
The point is, all their accounts are audited, or they are equally open to
Washington lobbying firm. RSS paid Washington lobbying firm, which also represents Pakistan.
Please go ahead and put a case in the court. I don't believe it. You can say that. Go ahead and put a case in the court. I am saying you talked about FCRA, you talked about FCRA. नहीं, आप एक ही बातें मत बैठिए ना. आपने FCRA की बात की, मैंने आपको कहा कि FCRA का फंड से ज़्यादा CSR जमा करता है. मैंने कहा कि RSS से रिलेटेड कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो भी FCRA में डील करता है, सारे ऑडिट होते हैं. अगर नहीं होते उनको भी बैन लगता है. So government is very strict about FCRA, and of those accounts that you talk about, maximum money still goes to the people who are into this business of NGO funding, not into people who are doing genuine work. And if I do a genuine work and somebody donates to me, why is you have a problem? You don't have a problem with church, which stopped Sterlite Industries, which gave 40% of copper to India. It was stopped. Who got benefit? China got benefit. Your people, church-backed NGOs stalled Kundakulam as far as
Kudankulam
cried over it.
Also,
for alternative energy in Northeast, they are the wolf in sheep's clothing. They have backed separate organizations in 1950s.
Also,
are they saying that there is no such role of this church in Northeast? It is there. So all this decency and all comes on TV. It looks very nice, civilized debate in cities. You go to Northeast, see the real face of church and what they are doing. So FCRA attacks those kind of people, not people who do genuine work. So also, this crying about victimization is totally falsehood. I don't believe in that at all. And US has a FARA Act. Why can't we have an act? Why does USA interfere in my FCRA, and why other organizations are supporting US in this false accusation, false suppression of India's own sovereignty? Why are they supporting USA? That is a question. What right does foreign minister go to Mother Teresa's seminary or somewhere else to show that they are supporting these organizations? Is USA supporting the church directly or indirectly? Is it right for a government to support religious organizations of other countries while they have FARA? We have FCRA, but still they come interfere in our internal affairs. That is my question. Why Congress is playing with them?
Sir,
Ratan Sharda, the US, of course, is interfering both directly and indirectly on this issue. It's not secret.
Yes,
right?
of course.
And Pankaj Sharma, you say RSS might or might not be getting money.
Yeah.
But the point is, Congress got money. Both the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation and the Rajiv Gandhi Charitable Trust. Right? It's a documented fact. It's on the record, on the floor of the parliament, that the home minister of the country has said that these two trusts associated with the Congress/Gandhi family got the money.
It was on the website.
Yes. It's on their own website also. So, I mean, it's not, and the Chinese money, Zakir Naik money, I mean, later banned for terror activities.
20 organizations directly affiliated to RSS got around 700 crores from ONGC or not.
ONGC is not Zakir Naik Trust. ONGC is not Timothy Foundation.
29 crores.
ONGC is not foreign funding.
No, let me tell him one thing.
Abhishek, just one moment.
No, he's lost.
The biggest hospital. The biggest
ONGC is not foreign funding, Pankaj Sharma. Chinese embassy is foreign funding.
Problem.
How much of
if RSS inspired organization is running a wonderful hospital in Assam where nobody was ready to run a hospital.
And by the way,
organizations support a good cause.
I think we have to get
I want to bring in Tausif 1 second. Tausif hasn't spoken and Mr. Chaturvedi hasn't spoken, right?
Is ONGC giving them free funds?
He's completely. That's a warped argument. I think it's completely warped argument. Because if
we're just discussing foreign funding, Ratan Sharda, don't fall for the trap. It's apples and oranges, not CSR and not ONGC.
It's okay, fine. Tomorrow, if let's say, for example, a corporate gives Congress party like 1,000 crore,
no problem.
If it's coming under the ambit of the law, it's your money, your party.
Indian we are not getting into it. Pankaj Sharma, we know which corporate gives money to the Congress even now. I mean, forget about when the Congress was in power. We are not getting into it. We're not getting into it.
My question is to Tausif. See, Tausif.
Electoral bond लेंगे, लेकिन बाद में बोलेंगे ये गलत है.
No, don't get into it.
We're not getting into it. That's a different debate. Ratan Sharda, it's a trap. Pankaj Sharma digressed you. I mean, diverted your attention.
One second. Tausif hasn't spoken. Chaturvedi hasn't spoken. Chaturvedi, I'm coming to you. Okay. See, Mr. Chaturvedi, right now, you're joining us from Lucknow. Lucknow, is it?
Yep.
Okay, Lucknow.
Yes.
In Lucknow, in the last 15 days, there have been 2 incidents of church bodies from different parts of the country, namely Tamil Nadu and Kerala, who've been caught red-handed trying to convert people, right? And they were not registered, okay? From the details that I have right now. Now, what the FCRA does is, okay, and this is very important, FCRA registration conditions include no conversion by inducement history, no communal disharmony, no sedition advocacy, public interest tests, etc. Now, why am I saying this? Not only because of Lucknow. We did an investigation, a sting operation. Our reporter went from Bengaluru, where we caught the Timothy Initiative. Timothy Initiative is a US North Carolina based NGO. We tracked them down in North Carolina. They've shut their doors now after the investigation began. 100 debit cards of Timothy Initiative, a bank called Truist Bank, an Indian called Mika Mark coming to India carrying debit cards was apprehended, and they found out that the money from this Timothy Initiative was withdrawn in Chhattisgarh, in Bastar and Damtari.
How much, Ranjan? 6 crores.
6 crores from one ATM. And lo and behold, 100 meters from that ATM, there is a church called the Mennonite Church, whose FCRA was cancelled about 3 to 4 years back. And to investigate, our reporter goes inside Mennonite Church. And you know what happens, Chaturvedi ji? Our reporter goes inside Mennonite Church. In 2 minutes, she is asked whether she's single, She's asked whether she wants to change her faith. She's told Hinduism is bad. And then they try to even set her up with another person. And all of this is on camera. We've played the FCRA files. I can send you the clip. It's an investigative sting operation. Now, that is what is mentioned here in the FCRA rule. I have the FCRA Act in front of me. It says, registration condition, no conversion by inducement history, no communal disharmony, no sedition advocacy, no public interest tests, etc. This is why the FCRA license of this church called Mennonite Church, for example, was cancelled. They've got several crores from America over the years. So please tell me, why should Americans send money for people to be induced in parts like Chhattisgarh?
Okay. I think a narrative is being said that the opposition is totally against the FCRA. It is not so. We have to remember that this was introduced in the year 1976 by this opposition only. It has been amended a couple of times and it's being amended currently also. But we have to remember that, okay, we do not want, firstly, the law already exists that any kind of induced conversion in the name of religion or caste or anything is not permissible. It is illegal. The law already exists. So, of course, anybody doing so should be tried under the ambit of the law. That is perfectly all right. We're okay with that. Now, there's one point, interesting point which I want to raise. The FCRA is about money coming into India from outside.
Correct. Yes.
But interestingly, the money which moves outside India, from India, say to Swiss Bank, in the last couple of years, especially from 2014, if you see, it has almost doubled.
Where are you getting this fact from, sir?
You can Google it.
No, there is a law for that, There is Prevention of Money Laundering Act, there is FEMA, those provisions are there for that.
I'm just giving you an update that yes, in the last 12 years, the money which has moved from India to Swiss banks has nearly doubled.
Fact check.
Again,
No.
How is it connected?
No, 1 second. No, it's no. 1 second. No, 1 second.
Again, digressing.
No. Fact check. I'm doing a fact check. Total funds held by Indians in Swiss banks has dipped to 3,250 million, approximately 36,800 crore at the end of 2025. This is last year's data, end of 2025. It has dipped. It has not gone up.
Or kiska hai?
Please check your facts. I don't know where you're getting your facts from. I don't know where you're getting the facts from.
किसका Swiss account है आशीष चतुर्वेदी, वो भी कैसे पता चलेगा?
The Swiss bank will only be able to give, but once you Google it, you can, whatever I have told you, I've just Googled.
So my point is who's absorbed? I mean, again, as Pankaj Sharma, so you are digressing from the point. Listen, FCRA is not comparable with CSR. FCRA is not comparable with PMLA. Those are different issues, different topics.
Zoom कीजिए, headline zoom कीजिए, headline zoom कीजिए. आशीष को दिखाइए.
Indian money in Swiss accounts. इंडियन मनी
फुल फ्रेम दिखाइए हमको.
8%.
अरे फुल फ्रेम दिखाइए ना, आशीष जी को दिखाइए ये.
बड़ा फ्लैटली झूठ बोलते हैं. मैंने गूगल करके ऑलरेडी देखा भाई, आप भी एक बार गूगल कर लीजिए.
अरे देखिए ना, ये आप यू डोंट बिलीव रिपब्लिक, यू बिलीव मनी कंट्रोल. फुल फ्रेम जाइए इस पे हेडलाइन दिखाइए और जूम इन कीजिए. नहीं और जूम इन कीजिए इसको. नहीं और जूम इन कीजिए. हाँ, क्या है ये? क्या है? नहीं देखिए, ये इंडियन मनी इन स्विस बैंक्स फॉल्स 8%.
I said I googled it. You can also do it, and if you feel that Google is in hands in glove with the opposition to malign the BJP, you can sue them. You're free to do that.
No, I just did a fact check. You said it's increased. Facts show that it's decreased. It's a fact check.
No,
please.
It's not a fact. It's your say versus the Google. I think Google has more.
No,
Baba, it's a report there. It's not Niranjan.
It is not me saying it. It's a fact. It's a report.
It's a report there.
I mean, as I said, if you feel that Google, somehow has...
Sir, this is Swiss Google. This is Swiss National Bank. No.
Google कहाँ से आ गया?
अरे Google नहीं बाबा, ये Swiss National Bank है, SNB है. मेरा डेटा नहीं है, Swiss National Bank का डेटा है.
इनको डिबेट भटकाना, इनको डिबेट करना ही नहीं है.
That's why I'm saying, Ratan Sharda, don't fall for the trap. Don't fall for the trap.
नहीं, अभी हमारे बहुत सीनियर वो कह रहे हैं. मैं एक बात आपसे पूछना चाहूंगा. आपने फाइनेंशियल ट्रांसपेरेंसी की बात की. आपने 2 ट्रस्ट बनाए, एक राम मंदिर ट्रस्ट है और एक पीएम केयर्स फंड
वही
है।
आ गए।
दोनों ही आरटीआई के बाहर रखे हुए हैं आपने, क्यों?
अरे बाबा, it's not FCRA. It's RTI. We are not debating RTI today. We are not debating PM Cares Fund today. We are debating FCRA.
In a certain topic, why others are
Can I make an important point now?
अरे बट वो फॉरेन फंडिंग नहीं है बाबा, हम फॉरेन फंडिंग की बात कर रहे हैं. ओके, नो नो, आई एम नॉट अलाउइंग दिस डिग्रेशन. नो नो, नॉट अलाउड, नॉट अलाउड, नॉट अलाउड, नॉट अलाउड, नॉट अलाउड. By the way,
that BJP can do sell anything.
By the way,
Okay, you ask a question to BJP.
Can I, Niranjan?
No, you ask. He's very upset with BJP. You please ask a question to BJP.
If you talk of financial transparency, it applies to all, is it not?
बाबा, ये फाइनेंशियल ट्रांसपेरेंसी का डिबेट
अरे तो प्रोब हो रहा है ना, प्रोब हो रहा है. डू यू नो देयर इज एन SIT, देयर आर 8 अरेस्ट, 9 अरेस्ट दैट हैव ऑलरेडी हैपेंड. प्रोब हो रहा है, उससे डरना क्या है? Anyway, let the BJP answer.
You know,
let Tuhin answer.
Niranjan, I'm waiting for, Niranjan, I'm waiting for, I'm waiting for one opposition party. I'm waiting for one opposition party to say why is the. Please don't, have the basic courtesy. You can't just go on and on. Niranjan, I'm waiting for one opposition party to say that the proposed amendment to FCRA bill is not as stringent as the FARA Act in America. When will we have a more responsible opposition that can stand up for national interest? Do you know the provisions of FARA? Any country which wants to protect its sovereignty will be vigilant insofar as foreign funds are concerned. And whenever we talk about foreign funds, they try to deflect attention, they try to change goalposts, they come back to PM Cares, they come back to ONGC. Is ONGC for an undisclosed, mysterious foreign fund? The logic of this.
You are also falling in the trap. I want to pull it back. I want to pull back the debate to FCRA, please. I want to pull the debate back to FCRA. Tausif. Okay, pull back both of you. Ashish Chaturvedi, Tuhin, please pull back. Tausif, bring Tausif in. Tausif. Okay. Ashish Chaturvedi, please pull back. Tuhin, please pull back. We are coming to the last 5 minutes of the conversation. I want to go back to Mr. Mascarina also.
No, Tausif hasn't spoken.
Tausif. Okay, I'm coming to Tausif. Tausif, are you a nationalist?
What Father Mascarin says.
I'm coming to Ratan Sharda.
I have a live case with me.
No, he's not. Tausif is not a nationalist.
Ratan Sharda, please. Tausif, are you a nationalist? I'm asking. Are you a nationalist? Do you love your country?
What question are you asking to?
No, let me answer. Tausif.
No.
Do you love your country? You are a nationalist. You would want a sovereign India, right?
Self-certify before the Republic News Channel, or am I seeking a certificate from?
I'm just seeking your views about your own nationalism. You're a nationalist, right? You can say you're a proud nationalist, like I am, like Niranjan is. Everyone on the panel is, no doubt about anyone. You are a nationalist. You love your country. You want India to be a sovereign nation. How can we allow American senators and congressmen to determine what India's parliament would legislate? On that issue alone, you should have a view.
Well, if I don't think that senators will determine what India should legislate, but as a matter of fact, President Trump determined when we should stop our Operation Sindoor. We cannot shy away from that. So you see, talking about the FCRA, the Home Minister, and correct me if I'm wrong, gave a media bite saying that this is important because it will put a curb on foreign funding to a group of people who are engaged in doing religious conversion. So basically, the political ploy that the BJP sees, they are playing it out or even though the stated reason is something else in the law. If I have to criticize the law, there are provisions in the FCRA bill which gives arbitrary power to the government at the will of the government. Any license can be cancelled. Any license can be delayed from getting renewal. And while the government is trying to delay the renewal, the designated authority can take over the property. What kind of law is that? That shows the arbitrariness embedded in this law, which is one reason why legally this is being challenged. Socially, if I say,
factually incorrect.
Even the Article 25 of the Constitution gives right to everyone to propagate their religion. Therefore, you cannot dictate that Christians should not receive funding from outside India, or Muslims should not receive the zakat fund from the Gulf countries. If you want to do that, then you are going against the fundamental right guaranteed under the Constitution. And if your intention is that, then bring a law.
What is the fundamental right?
What is fundamental? 1 minute. One second. Tausif. I'm a little. 1 minute. I just heard Tausif argue. 1 minute. Just 1 second. Tausif.
From the BJP government, minorities have
Tausif is saying, Tausif rather just said, Abhishek,
by punishing them.
Yeah, 1 second. Tausif just said that receiving foreign donation is a fundamental right. That's what he meant.
I said Article 25 propagating religion is a fundamental right.
No, 1 second.
PM cares fund also.
One second. Come on, please, for God's sake, don't try and confuse viewers. There's a difference between
Ayodhya Ram Mandir received foreign funding.
God, 1 second. Hold on. I'll tell you. Okay, fine. Let me ask you the question. Okay, and I'll let me ask you the question. Okay, I'll tell you why they're upset.
I'll put a case and let them say that this.
No, I will tell you. Let me show you something, Ratan Sharda. I'll tell you why this ecosystem is really upset. I want to play those graphics of what we put out yesterday, okay? And I won't take names, even though I have the names. It's a matter of record. It's in the documents of the US government. It's on websites, okay? I'll tell you why they're unhappy. I will not take names, but you'll get the reference. Abhishek, there is an openly anti-government website, okay? Based in Delhi NCR, okay? Yeah? 2023 alone, they received $61,000 and they're openly anti-FCRA. 61 lakhs from a foundation run by an Indian, sitting in America. His company is registered in Florida.
Yeah.
It's a foundation, right? Yeah. And this Indian website, strangely, now all these people who are mentioning now, they are registered as a tax and audit firm. They are registered in a tax and audit firm called Walter Schufan in Boston. Case study 1, anti-government website based in Delhi NCR, 61 lakhs in 2023 alone. A legal charitable trust based in Pune. Runs law colleges, received 47 lakhs in 2023, has biggest judges as members. Openly anti-government website. Okay, I'm not saying roll or scroll or whatever else, I don't know the name. 26 lakhs in 2023 and 2025, openly anti-FCRA. From the same foundation, same people. Openly pro-CJP and anti-Modi portal, okay, isn't the public clue. 15 lakhs in 2025 alone. They launched an Epstein campaign against the government. This funding came at the same time. A female journalist who has worked in anti-government rags received 3.5 lakh rupees in 2025 for an article written on Jaishankar. I can say that much. Okay? An anti-government legal and courts campaigner who's active on social media received 40 lakh rupees in 2025. 40 lakhs in 2025. He's a single writer. Pro-CJP anti-government journalist, calls himself an investigative journalist, received 10 lakhs. He's pro-CJP, anti-FCRA. It's a matter of record. Last one. No, listen to this. One of the faces of the CJP, Abhishek, in 3 years, 2021, 2023, 2024, on television, faces of CJP at Jantar Mantar has received 15 lakh rupees from the same foundation.
Niranjan,
and grants come under FCRA. Grants come under FCRA.
This long list that you have given, Niranjan, I don't find a single Christian missionary church related funding. So obviously, Christian brothers and sisters and fathers and nuns should not worry about it. Absolutely. More so because section 16A7 clearly says that wherever a vested asset is a place of worship, a designated authority must entrust its management to appropriate person and ensure that religious character of such place of worship is maintained, which means the concern that Father Mascarenas had that churches would be impounded is not true.
I think the father should read the law.
Absolutely. I think the government and JPC is a good mechanism to take all stakeholders on board, including hopefully the opposition, and we would see this debate back in winter session of Parliament.
That's it on this edition. Arnav will be back tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
रंगीन रे देखो कैसे भी हो दिन रंग 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 बना रहे धूप में भी तेरा रंग बना रहेगा रहेगा रे रंगा ढंगा अतरंगा जो होना है वो तो होना ही है रंगीले तू सदा मुस्कुरा सदा 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 मुस्कुरा रंग 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 रंगीन रे देखो कैसे भी हो दिन रंग बना रहे बोझ पेंट्स रंग बना रहे
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, mass comm, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
I wake up wearing someone else again. Don't let it slip. I'm losing control. I don't wanna be safe anymore. Underneath, there's a
Finding myself. That's my moment of Sarah.
Papa.
सॉरी यार गलती हो गई है ये चोट खर्चा वर्चा
अरे लास्ट बॉल पे छक्का भी तुम्हारा
छक्का
सब कैशलेस हो गया है हाँ
ला भाई मेरा बैट वो अभी तो ठीक हुआ तू
चार्ज हुआ यार
बैट किसका है
टाटा AIG है तो भरोसा है
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
बेस्ट हरा बोर्ड दिखाना सबसे डिपेंडेबल सेंचुरी HDF प्रीमियम प्लस
ट्रायल लूंगा
श्योर वाटर रेजिस्टेंट है स्ट्रॉन्ग है हाई डेंसिटी वुड फाइबर स्ट्रक्चर एडवांस जर्मन एडहेसिव बॉन्डिंग सॉलिड डिफेंस ट्रायल में पास सेंचुरी के 40 सालों का भरोसा हरे बोर्ड का असली बॉस सेंचुरी HDF प्रीमियम प्लस
umpteen number of times the Modi government also has taken resort to whenever the bill
रंगीन रे देखो कैसे भी हो दिन रंग 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 बना रहे धूप में भी तेरा रंग बना रहेगा रहेगा रे रंगा ढंगा अतरंगा जो होना है वो तो होना ही है रंगीले तू सदा मुस्कुरा सदा 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 मुस्कुरा रंग 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 रंगीन रे देखो कैसे भी हो दिन रंग बना रहे बोझे पेंट्स रंग बना रहे.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
AU सेविंग्स अकाउंट में मिलते हैं अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स, पेपरलेस बैंकिंग एंड हायर इंटरेस्ट, वो भी हर महीने.
मनी 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 एवरी मंथ.
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी.
पापा
सॉरी यार, गलती हो गई है. ये चोट खर्चा वर्चा.
अरे लास्ट बॉल पे छक्का भी तुम्हारा.
छक्का?
सब कैशलेस हो गया है. हाँ.
ला भाई मेरा बैट. वो अभी तो ठीक हुआ तू.
जो डिस्चार्ज हुआ यार.
बैट किसका है?
टाटा AIG है तो भरोसा है.
बेस्ट हरा बोर्ड दिखाना. सबसे डिपेंडेबल सेंचुरी HDF प्रीमियम प्लस.
ट्रायल लूंगा.
श्योर. वाटर रेजिस्टेंट है, स्ट्रॉन्ग है, हाई डेंसिटी वुड फाइबर स्ट्रक्चर, एडवांस जर्मन एडिसिव बॉन्डिंग, सॉलिड डिफेंस. ट्रायल में पास. सेंचुरी के 40 सालों का भरोसा, हरे बोर्ड का असली बॉस. सेंचुरी HDF प्रीमियम प्लस.
रंग 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 रंगीन रे देखो.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे. केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार. विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी.
पापा
सॉरी यार, गलती हो गई है. ये चोट खर्चा वर्चा.
अरे लास्ट बॉल पे छक्का भी तुम्हारा.
छक्का?
सब कैशलेस हो गया है. हाँ.
ला भाई मेरा बैट. वो अभी तो ठीक हुआ तू.
जो डिस्चार्ज हुआ यार.